Hello everybody! So I have a little card tutorial for you today. I wanted to use some of the watercolor 6x6 paper pads from Pam Bray. And I know that right now during this time, maybe making cards is something you'd really like to do. So I thought I would share with you a couple tips and tricks on making a simple card. So I'm going to start with these 2 sheets of pattern paper. This is 6x6 paper from Pam Bray. You can find it in the Wild Whisper shop. It has beautiful like watercolory backgrounds and images. There's also the Nature's Mist one, which also has some beautiful colors. Nature's Bliss, which also has some beautiful colors and nature kind of themes and designs. And I thought that these 6x6 paper pads would make some really good cards. So while I am a card maker, and I do make cards often, I know that many of you are scrapbookers, so I thought maybe sharing with you a couple really easy ways to make nice cards, maybe just with things you have in your stash or at your house, would be a nice idea. So I am taking a diamond punch. I got my diamond punch at Amazon, and I will leave a link to it down below in the description box if you feel the need to get one for yourself or if you don't have one already. I am punching lots and lots of these diamonds. I'm going to create kind of like a Harlequin pattern as an interesting base to layer some things up on. So I started with 1 row of the diamonds. I'm putting them right up against the edge or the fold of my card. And then for the next row of diamonds, I'm nestling the diamonds into the first row, as you can see here. So this pattern takes about 1 and like a 1/3 sheet of 6x6 cardstock. So you need at least 2 of the same pattern to be able to do a card. I made 2 cards. I used probably 2+ coordinating sheets of paper. Both cards look slightly different. I did one kind of off camera to see if it would work. And then I went ahead and did the second one, which I then filmed. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue with this design. You can see this design is really easy. It makes a nice quick card. If you wanted to expand this design to a 12x12 layout, you certainly could. So once I got to about this point, this is where I'm going to kind of stop my pattern. I didn't want the Harlequins to be kind of going off the edge of the page for this one. I'm going to open my card up and trim the top and bottom edges. This is just going to give me a nice straight little area. And then I am going to go ahead and cut just a really small thin strip. It's probably about 1/4 of an inch, not very large at all. And what I'm going to do, I needed a nice straight edge. I'm going to place this on the inside of my card so that when you open it, you just have this little strip of color. This is a really nice way to just add a little something extra to the inside of the card and have it coordinate with the front of your card. You can see we are working right on top of our card. I didn't make a card panel for this. I really just made it exactly right onto the card. And I used some Tim Holtz 8.5 by 11 wood grain cardstock. It's a really true white, and it gives you a really nice texture to a card base. So now we're going to do a little bit of stamping. I have 2 sets of Wild Whisper stamps here. One is the Strength in the Season stamp set. The other one is one of Pam Bray's stamp sets. I think that one is called The Little Things. I'm going to go ahead and stamp the dragonfly from the Pam Bray set. And all of these stamp sets, if they are available in the Wild Whisper shop, they will be linked up in the blog post, and the link to that will be in the description box. I'm going to go ahead and stamp it twice. I am using Altenews Permanent Dye ink. That is my favorite ink that's my favorite black ink. I've tried a couple other ones. You guys know how much I adore Catherine Polar, but I keep going back to my Altenews. It just works really well. This is the Strength of the Season stamp, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp 3 of these beautiful sunflower stamps. Now I'm going to do just a little bit of really easy coloring. So these are mild liners. If you've never heard of them before, they are creative markers. And they have 2 tips. One tip is like a thicker, more highlighter type of a tip. The other side of the tip is like a fine point tip, but they give out the smoothest color. So if you don't want to do shading, if you're not interested in doing shading, but you have a stamp set and you'd like to add just a bit of color to them, these are really nice. So the ink comes out really smoothly, so you don't have like those marker lines, and it flows real nice. And yeah, I'm really, really happy with them just for like a nice quick coloring. I bought them to use in my planner. I do use them in my planner. And then one day I just decided to try and see if they would color a stamped image, and they work so well. Again, not for shading, not for anything real detailed, but if you just want to lay a little bit of color down onto your stamped image, this is a really great easy product. Inexpensive. I'll leave the link for these below. You can just grab them at Amazon, but they are really, really nice, even if you're not a planner girl or anything like that. So I'm just going to I used the gray mild liner to color some of the areas of the wings, and then I used this like pink one to color the petals on the flower. And then I'm going to take this extra fine Posca paint pen, and I'm just going to do a little bit of a dotty design in the middle of my flower just to give it a little bit of interest. Once I had all those elements colored and ready to go, we can just put them down. So I fussy cut them. Wild Whisper does not offer just yet metal dies for their stamp sets, maybe at some point. But that's okay because generally they are easy to fussy cut. So I put the dragonfly in the upper left corner, gave that dragonfly a little bit of a tail with my Posca pen. And then I'm going to cluster my little flowers in the bottom corner. And then we have a card that we can stamp any sentiment in and mail to our friends and family right now when we can't see them. So I think everybody would kind of have these supplies in their stash. Things like a diamond punch, things like a 6x6 paper pad, a couple of kind of small stamps. I am going to add a sentiment to the inside of mine. I'm going to add the sentiment with deepest sympathy and make this a sympathy card. I have had to send quite a few sympathy cards in recent months, and I am kind of out of them, which is so sad. But I'm just going to go ahead and just keep plugging away at making them. So I am double stamping this. I'm using my Stampin' Bug from Etsy to get a really nice crisp, clear impression on the inside of my card. And that's where we can call this one done. And as you can see here, the card turns out so striking and pretty. And you can see here that coloring, those mild liners are just a nice, really, really nice coloring medium. I have been enjoying them immensely. I hope you all have a fabulous Monday, and I will see you all again soon. Bye.